30. That's 1/3. 11 out of 30. That's 11/30ths. Hey, here's one. One notification. Two. Two notifications. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 notifications. There's supposed to be 19. Okay, whatever. Okay, Karen with the digit. She is on. Debbie, Nick. Yeah. Very good. Very good, very good. Okay, so, yeah, I was going to make a video. I was going to rip Simon Dan apart. I busted his ass today. Really bad. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make a video. Do I look like I'm in slow motion, guys? I do on my monitoring software, and I was in the process of updating my video drivers, and my computer crashed halfway through, so now I think my video drivers are fucked. So do I look like I'm in slow motion to you guys? Hey, Cody. I look like I'm kind of like dropping frames a little bit, or does it look clear to you? Hey, cat. Oh, it's good? That's not, it doesn't look all like a slideshow or anything, like really kind of weird or anything. Okay. Okay. It's hard to believe, but okay. It's okay. It's not flickery at all. Huh. I got high CPU usage detected over here, and I don't even have... Hey, because I don't even have that fucking shit running, man. It doesn't make sense at all. Okay. Okay. I don't know why. What else do I have on? I must have something else running. Nope. Huh. Moving over to Trovo. It looks good? Okay, cool. It's just, I got to deal with this. The way it looks for me, it looks horrible. And I wonder if I can fix that. Here, let me delete this. Remove this. Let me add my camera again. Okay. Try that. Looks like my frames per second is like affected somehow. FPS says 30. I'll put it on 60. Still not, it's not completely perfect. There's still a little bit of lag going on. It's really, there's a flicker going on, but it'll work for me, I guess. Hey, Robert, what's up, buddy? How's it going? So yeah, I've been using Vegas Video to edit video, and I bring in a video, a perfect video. I put it in Vegas, and it's all freaked out looking. So I'm all over YouTube trying to figure out what causes that, and people are like, "Oh, do this, do that, do this, do that," and nothing helps. So I figure it's my video cards. So I go to update my my video card drivers, and yeah, they need to be updated by like 3 weeks. They come up with a new update every fucking 3 weeks. So hey, Brock. So I go and I do the update, and my computer locks up halfway through the update. So, maybe I could try to do it again while I'm live right now, and maybe it won't crash my computer this time. NVIDIA control panel. Yeah, my computer's going to have to be restarted, I can tell. Um. Oh, here we go. You know, if I could assign Vegas to my video card, I might be better off. I think that might be the problem. Nick, you just let Karen troll you, bro. Wow, and you responded to her trolling you, bro. Wow, dude, Karen, nice troll on Nick. You got him to respond. Way to go. Vegas video, where are you? It's not showing up in my list of programs. Isn't this crazy? No Vegas video. Maybe it's called Sony Vegas video. Huh. Sony Vegas video. Not here. Adobe Photoshop. I looked pretty good through that list. I cannot find it. Maybe if I could search it. No. Huh. No luck. Oh, Karen, don't you understand? He don't want to fuck with you. Didn't you understand? He's not interested. Don't you see? People don't like trolls, Karen. People don't like that kind of behavior. You remind me of an uncle, you know, that tickles you when you don't want to be tickled. You know, people don't like that shit. People don't like to be fucked with. You want me to fuck with you? You want me to block you from my live stream again? I have no problem with that. When you come in here and you start fucking with my audience members, you're going to piss me off. Yeah, maybe try to joke without having to go one up on somebody else, Karen. Maybe try that. You know, maybe try to joke without trying to make yourself feel better than somebody else. You don't owe me an apology. I don't want your fucking apology. I didn't say that for a fucking apology. I'm just letting you know how fucked up you are. I'm sorry, Nay. You goddamn right you're sorry, Karen. Let me plug this into power really quick here. Okay, we're smoking. Everyone's online is so witty, right? Right, dude. Especially Simon Dan. Oh boy, are you gonna make me do that? Don Core Isaac says fuck out. That's fuck out doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry. I don't understand what fuck out means. Maybe try it again. All right, Karen was first on the digit drop. Karen, congratulations to you. Cheers. We'll call this one happy 710 to you. 710. Cheers. Well, no, let's call it top of the hour. We'll move through this one quick. Hey, Ann. Why don't you move to Texas? Why don't I move to Texas? Because I have absolutely no desire to? Why don't I block you for being a dipshit, Patrick? How about that? Why don't I block you for saying dumb shit that's completely irrelevant on my live stream? How about that, Patrick? I like that better. I hate when people ask me stupid fucking questions with no basis. Anyhow, so I was watching a video from Cy Mandan, and in the video, he makes a claim. You know how he likes to call people out and punch down on people that he feels like he's more intelligent than because he is? And you know, I think it's great that he's smarter than other people. What I don't think is great is when he puts people down because of it. And, you know, if there's one thing I fucking hate, it's when people come in here and show me how fucking stupid they are. And I call them a bunch of dumb cunts. But, you know, those are people that are coming into my goddamn living room and showing me how fucking stupid they are. This guy, he goes out on the internet and he searches for people so he could call them out. And my problem there is, you know, these are people that they've got their own issues, obviously. You know, their parents fucking neglected them. Nobody pays attention to them. They're fucking desperate cunts. I understand. And they have a lower IQ and they want attention. And he's giving it to them. But my biggest problem is the smugness that he displays while he does it, as if he really thinks that putting these morons down is making him somehow look more intelligent in the eyes of his audience. I firmly disagree with that. Bitcoin's down right now. Is it? Not watching it. Try to pay attention to what I'm talking about, bro. Don't make it about you, GB. I'll fucking block your ass too, man. I'll block you so fucking fast. Come in here and disrespect me in my show. I'm talking about something else, and if you can't stay on topic, I will fuck you up. Stay on topic. Did you like that, Steve? All right. This is Cy Mandan. I say that with my slight English accent. He is a real cunt. He's a real fucking cunt. But at the same time, you know, I learn a lot from him. But at the same time, I might get a little angry with him from time to time because I catch him in some bullshit. And this is one of those times. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share this with you guys so you can see where I'm coming from. Hold on one second, though. Let me go back to my YouTube page and go to my history and grab the right video. That was the incorrect video. Library. Remember, you can always click on your library on YouTube and find videos that you've watched before. Okay. See all. Boy, oh boy, it's hard to find the right video. Man, I think it's number... It might be 12, it might be 11. Fuck, I don't know, man. It's one of these two, so just bear with me here. I'll find it.
They say that there are only two things in life that you can be absolutely sure of: death and taxes. As of 2017, there are three things: death, taxes, and the failure of flat earthers. This is Flat Earth Fail Compilation 12.
Yeah, I think it's 11. Fuck, I wish fucking YouTube would work right, man. YouTube sucks my dick. Here we go.
I was considering retiring the Flat Earth Fail compilations after the 10th edition. I wasn't 100% sure that it would remain popular. But then I asked all of you...
I'm sorry, I can't find it on YouTube, but the great news is I have it, a clip of it, on my computer. I just remembered. I'll just find the clip and play that for you, okay? Give me a second on that. If I can remember what folder, it's an edited videos folder, I believe. Fuck. Is it a VEG video? 24 kilobytes, that can't be it. Man, that video is on my hard drive. Why can't I remember where I saved it? Aaron, it's an MP4. Where did I save it to? Why don't I see it on the desktop? It's fucking test. This one's called test. This is not it. This is a video of me talking about it.
Hello.
Yeah, whoa, that was glitchy as fuck too. It was a rendered, okay. Where would I have saved it to? I remember now. Dude. God, I'm losing my mind, man. All right, I put that in a folder, and I get there from here, and I click on here, and then I click on here, and then the folder, the video. Is right here. There it is. Son of a fuck.
Or they are both real images.
Okay. Now, as you know, Simon Dan spends a lot of time debunking stuff. Okay. He was in the process of debunking a flat earther. This guy was obviously incorrect about flat earth, you know. And Simon Dan, you know, he goes after these people. The difference between Simon Dan and me is I figured them out, and he hasn't. He hasn't figured out flat earthers. He's not smart enough. He's a smart guy. He's intelligent about, you know, and he's got really good book smarts and stuff like that. But he doesn't know people really well. He hasn't been able to figure out why flat earthers do the flat earth thing. And I have. So, I feel bad for flat earthers because I understand them now. And to listen to him, not understand them, and attack them viciously like he does, it gets under my skin. But watch this.
They are both real images. Now, what's more likely?
It's all fraud. It's all fake. Pretty much everything NASA puts out is fraudulent.
I hope you're not including the infrared ear thermometer in...
The infrared ear thermometer? Well, you know what? Simon Dan, I'm so glad that you thought to bring this up. And because, you know, I took a little time myself today just to kind of find out about the kind of things that you were talking about. I was kind of interested in the ear thermometer. I was like, I've never heard that NASA invented the ear thermometer. Did you guys? Did you guys hear that? I'd never heard that before. Right? Come to find out when you Google that, what comes up is, in 1964, Dr. Theodore Benzinger invented the ear thermometer. It wasn't NASA. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Now, NASA was around back then, And they contracted people out to do work for them, but it wasn't NASA that did that. Just so you know. You don't give credit to NASA when it's somebody else who invented something. All right? So I thought, that's just one thing, but I just kind of thought that Cy Mandan, knowing him, he's probably going to bring, a couple of things to the table. And, of course, Cy Mandan did not disappoint.
That list. All prosthetics.
Prosthetics. So I was like, prosthetics? I mean, prosthetics, you mean like George Washington had wooden teeth prosthetics? I was like, prosthetics have been around for a long time, man. I'm just doing this. But I did a little research on prosthetics. And as it turns out, prosthetics were invented in the 16th century by Dr. Ambrose Paire, not by NASA. Isn't that weird? Isn't it weird that Cy Mandan is saying and showing you pictures of prosthetics and saying NASA invented them? Giving NASA credit for prosthetics? Isn't that kind of weird? I thought it was kind of weird. Well, check this out. Check this out.
All ventricular assist devices.
Ventricular assist devices. That's a fancy word for a fucking pacemaker, isn't it? But when the first pneumatic heart device was invented, it was in the 1960s by Dr. William Pierce. It wasn't NASA. It wasn't NASA. Isn't that weird? Isn't that funny?
Or landmine removal tools.
Really? Landmine removal tools? I don't know why you say tools like that. You sound weird. But landmine removal tools, the conventional method of landmine detection was developed in World War II. Not by NASA, as you claim. Isn't that weird? Isn't it weird that Cy Mandan said that? Isn't that weird? Let's see if you had anything else to say.
All firefighting equipment.
Firefighting equipment? Man, I had a feeling that fires and firefighting had been around a lot longer than the late 1950s. And turns out, wow, man, it was 3rd century BC Ctesibius of Alexandria that invented the first fire extinguisher. Okay, Jacobus Turk invented the first fire helmet in the 1730s. I don't think NASA was around then. I mean, they weren't even a thing until 1958. NASA wasn't even a thing until 1958. So how the fuck are you saying NASA invented all this shit? It is so weird. Isn't it weird that Cy Mandan is saying all this weird shit that's not true? Isn't it weird? Here, let's keep going. Let's see if he says anything else.
Or temper foam.
Temper foam? Well, you know what? As a matter of fact, he gets one right. Temper foam was invented by NASA. And you know what? Who fucking cares? Who gives a fuck? Like that's some kind of a big deal. Like fucking Velcro and fucking tinfoil that causes cancer. Right? So useful. The things that NASA actually fucking is responsible for.
Or enriched baby formula, or water purification. I could go on. My point is...
Wait, whoa.
Equipment, or temper foam, or enriched baby formula.
Enriched baby formula? Enriched baby formula? Really? You know what? Commercial baby formula was invented in 1867 by Justus von Liebig. Not NASA, as you claim. Isn't that kind of weird? Isn't it kind of weird that I knew that? Isn't it kind of weird that I went and I looked that shit up? Isn't it kind of weird that this old man sitting in the mountains just fucking was just doing this shit, just doing this shit, and thought, hey man, that shit just doesn't ring true to me for some reason. I think Psyman Dan's fucking lying. I think he's telling some fucking big lies. So I'm going to look him up. I'm going to check him out on the Google and see who invented these things, because I have a feeling it wasn't NASA. Let's keep going. What else does he say? Baby formula?
Or water purification.
Water purification. Now, are you fucking kidding me? Do you want me to really believe that NASA invented water purification? Okay. Water purification was invented by Joseph Amy in the mid 1700s. Not NASA, as you claim. Psyman Dan, you got it all wrong. You got all of it wrong.
I could go on.
No, you can't go on. See, you saying that you can go on is you straw manning. You gave a bunch of bullshit. All right, you lied about a bunch of bullshit. And, you might catch me on technicalities on a couple of those things, but you're not going to catch me on the World War II landmine thing. You're not going to catch me on the water purification thing. These are just common sense. And the fact that you couldn't common sense your way through that really bothers me. You really got that shit wrong, Psyman Dan. Maybe the Psy means psycho, instead of science. I don't think he's science in any of this. Right? Thank you, Billy. Billy and I are on the same level here. Exactly. Yeah, so NASA invented boiling water, right? Right, Billy? All right. So he goes on to say this. He's not a snob. He's not a snob or stuffy or highfalutin or cocky in any way, shape, or form.
My point is, your blind mistrust for NASA means you don't appreciate the other things they've had a hand in.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, do you like they have a hand, move my head at just the right time, because this motherfucker is so full of his own fucking bullshit that he didn't even have time to just check the things that he thought NASA invented. Another streamer that lies to their audience for views. Dude, and you don't have to lie about this shit. NASA has done a lot, man. He's straw manning over bullshit. He's lazy. I'm sure NASA has invented some crazy awesome shit. Why didn't he just take 5 minutes like I did and look it up? And get his facts right before he brings it to his audience and gives them a bunch of bullshit. And then somebody goes to one of their friends and goes, yeah, well, NASA invented water filtration. And then someone would be like, really? Water filtration wasn't around in the 1930s or the 1920s or the 1800s? They weren't filtering water in the 1800s? Really? That just doesn't seem right to me. You'd think they'd have to learn how to filter water at some point way before NASA. Right? Here, listen to the wording, guys.
Creating.
Had a hand in creating.
Things they've had a hand in creating.
They didn't have a hand in creating any of that shit. That is a complete lie. They may have improved on it, but they did not have a hand in creating any of it. All of it existed before NASA did, except for the temper phone. All of it existed before NASA. Before the temper phone, except the temper phone. Dude, I don't know. I don't know where he got his info from, but I'll tell you what, it didn't sound true to me, and I decided to just fact check it. And that's what I'm always telling my audience. I don't care where you're getting your information from. Dude, I swear to you guys, I thought I could trust this guy. I thought he was going to give me straight information all the time. He's so fucking cocky. He's so fucking what's the word I'm looking for? He's so, I can't think of the word. Smug! Yes! Thank you, ORF! He's so fucking smug! You know, before I said, yeah, he's not stuffy, he's not any of that shit. No, I want to say, no, he's fucking smug. He's smugger than a bug in a rug. This motherfucker.
Nobody has actually really gone all the way across Antarctica.
This guy's just a fucking, oh my God. Don't even get me started on flat earthers. You know, I don't have time for that shit. You know, and Simon Dan, now I understand. Now I think I understand. Simon Dan goes after flat earthers because he really isn't as smart as he's trying to make people think he is. He fooled me for a while. Hey man, he was fooling me. He fooled me for over a month. I've been watching Simon Dan for about 30 days now. And maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But I was like, hey man, this guy's legit. I told you guys about him. I was like, you guys should go check him out. Blah, blah, blah. I pulled this up from 2018. And I'm like, whoa, this doesn't sound right. Let me Google this shit and see what Google has to say about it. Google was like, oh no, Simon Dan is full of shit. Totally smug and full of shit. Just like flat earthers are. That's why he goes after flat earthers. Because he did find somebody who was dumber than him that he could attack. And he's a stupid motherfucker. He says dumb shit. And, you know, I feel bad for his kids. You know, he's got kids. He's married. He's got kids. That whole thing. I feel sorry for his kids, man. Their dad, their father is a fucking phony. He's a fake smart guy. Just like, you know, it's funny. Bill Nye, the science guy, and now Simon Dan. It's the same thing. I'm not educated in any of this shit. It's just my title. I like science. You know? I like science. That's why I'm the science guy. That's why I'm the Sci-Man. I like it. I don't have a degree in it. I didn't study it. I don't do experiments. I just try to fool my audience into thinking that I'm a fucking scientist. 420 Blaze, what's up? The text recommend methods such as boiling water or filtering it through sand. Of course. Water filtration's been around forever. And NASA didn't have a hand in inventing it. And those were his words. And I'll let you hear the whole thing without me interrupting it. Listen, it's pretty short, man. Listen.
Images. Now, what's more likely?
It's all fraud. It's all fake. Pretty much everything NASA puts out is fraudulent.
I hope you're not including the infrared ear thermometer in that list. Or prosthetics, or ventricular assist devices, or landmine removal tools, or firefighting equipment, or temper foam, or enriched baby formula, or water purification. I could go on. My point is, your blind mistrust for NASA means you don't appreciate the other things they've had a hand in creating.
That's a lie. And that was a lie. And you could fucking see his little tail there.
Appreciate the other things they've had a hand in creating.
Yeah, you're a fucking liar. That is what you look like when you fucking lie. That's what a fucking liar looks like right there. NASA had a hand in creating only one of those things. Jacob, I'm this close to blocking you again, you little cuck. You're not paying attention and you're showing me how fucking stupid you are. All right, Jacob? Shut the fuck up. Shut your fat fucking mouth. I hate your fucking stupidity. Ann Knudsen says, no, lying. You're not listening to me, Jacob. He said a hand in creating. You fucking dumb cuck, Jacob. You fucking idiot. Jay Cuck. I'm just going to call you Jacob. Jay Cuck. Listen to what I'm telling you, you fucking idiot. All right? I hate how fucking stupid you are. If you just listen to me and shut your fat fucking mouth, I explained it already. In his words, he said NASA had a hand in creating those technologies, not redesigning them, you fucking dumb cunt. Not making them better, improving on them. He said creating. That dumb cunt said creating, which NASA did not do. He just named a whole bunch of random shit that had nothing to do with NASA. Isn't that funny? Do I believe in the Illuminati? What does that mean, do I believe in the Illuminati? Do I believe that there are wealthy people that try to control the planet? Yeah, I believe in that. Absolutely. There's people that have a lot of money and have secret meetings and, go off to private islands and discuss, what their views of the planet should be and how we can go about making that happen. Let's make that a thing. Absolutely. I believe in that shit. Certainly. Why wouldn't I? I mean, look at what the Masons have done with construction and aligning fucking buildings and shit. You got buildings that have been put on in specific locations, aimed in specific, directions, and with imagery and messages hidden in the goddamn architecture. You got the goddamn owl worshipping fucking, what do you call that goddamn coconut grove? Bohemian Grove? You got those fucking cucks. You've got the goddamn, the Skull and Bones Society. This is all real shit. Right? You want to call it Illuminati, you want to call it wealthy people that make the calls. Does saying Illuminati mean something special? Or you just want to call it a blanket term? Look at what Bill Gates did. He tried to he didn't just try, he did it. He created a vaccine and then he made it so only his companies could fucking profit off of it. How fucked up is that? I had to reverse my whole stance on Bill Gates today. If you missed that show, I would go watch this morning show. It's a doozy. Much like this show is a doozy. Hey, you guys should send this to Cy Mandan on YouTube. Yeah, man. You should go to Cy Mandan's latest upload and put this in there as a response and say, this dude just proved that you're a fucking liar, dude. You're a straight fucking liar. You said that NASA had a hand in creating water filtration or purification or whatever the fuck his term was. Had a hand in creating it. Oh, God, not just that. Things that were created in the goddamn third century. The first fire extinguisher was invented in the 3rd century. And prosthetics in the 16th century. You can't argue that. NASA had nothing to do with prosthetics being invented in the 16th century. Water filter 1700, mid 1700s. NASA, no NASA. No NASA. Just you being a fucking liar. Were scientists back in a day where science was hearsay and they were hunted for that reason. Right. I don't give a fuck about that shit, bro. Don't talk to me about that shit, 420 Blaze. I don't want to talk about that shit, okay? I don't want to talk about that shit. If you want to go down some fucking Illuminati rabbit holes on YouTube, go down them and don't ever come back here. All right? Go watch some Alex Jones. You know, you only have to snort half a line of Super Male Vitality to get the full benefits from it like I do every morning. And when I go into my bathroom and I chop up that pill, let me tell you something. I snort it up like a line of fire into my veins. Fair enough. 420. Dude, I can't handle Illuminati conspiracy cucks, bro. I can't. You got to take that shit elsewhere. That shit is so dumb. I mean, you need a fucking YouTube video to tell you that rich people use their money to try to control the world? You need to go study that shit? Are you a fucking scientist? Are you a god? Who are you, Magnum fucking PI, bro? Are you investigating it? Are you going to investigate it? You writing a book on it, bro? Are you an expert in the field? You're like, no, dude, I just wanted your opinion on it. Yo, I don't fucking care! It's stupid shit! Earliest evidence of water purification. Google, earliest evidence of water. Nays is finally waking up to Bill Gates. Josh Cox, no, you stupid cuck, Josh Cuck Cox. No, I'm not finally waking up to Bill Gates. This just happened, you dumb cunt. All the other shit that you thought you were woke to, that's all bullshit. This had to do with COVID, you fucking idiot, over the last year. Suck my dick. Nay's finally waking up to Bill Gates. God, dude, I hate people like you. I fucking hate people. You couldn't even reason your way through that one, could you, Josh? You couldn't even reason your way through that. You really think you're smarter than me, don't you, bro? Try next time, man. Give it a little try, okay? Give it a little try. You like to wonder about Illuminati? Fair enough. Fair enough. Fuck the Illuminati, bro. It's not your concern. The Illuminati, you know, if they don't have wells, solar power, and a source of food like gardening on their property right now, they're just as fucked as everybody else. You know, you can be as wealthy as you want. You can live in a mansion. If there's not a garden on that property, and just because you live in a mansion on 1,000 acres, doesn't mean you're growing your own vegetables. You know? And I thought about this. I thought about it. There's a lot of gorgeous homes out there that don't have solar, that don't have a well, that don't have gardens. Those people are going to die. Understand that. Illuminati or not, everybody's gonna die. If you're not ready. That's why you should watch this show. Josh Cox is a cunt, says Trini Nig. Josh Cox! You got called a cunt. Jacob, I was backing him on with NASA. I was saying maybe they really redesigned stuff, but I'm not validating him. Oh, the dogs are here. Here, hold on a second. Hey! Hi, Bella. Come on, come here. Come here. I'll get Rusty. Come here. Come here. Hi. Hi, girl. How are you? Are you a good girl? Yeah, you're very good. All right. Ruggy. Get in the house. Ruggy, get in the house. Sorry, guys. I love these dogs. They're so cute. Oh. Hey, buddy. I like to wonder. No, but I like to wonder. Josh Cox is a cunt. What's going on? Why are you so angry? The neon hippo. I'm not angry at all. A recent Jimmy Dore clip with Max Blumenthal from Grey Zone discusses Bill Gates' vaccine program. A recent Jimmy Dore with Max Blumenthal discusses Bill Gates' vaccine program. Yeah, I know Bill Gates' vaccine program. You know, it wasn't that big of a fucking deal. I know all about it. It wasn't that big of a fucking deal. I'm talking about the COVID thing. It's different from the vaccination thing. The vaccine thing that happened in another country. It's totally different. Stephen, Bill Gates pretends to be a philanthropist. His charities funnel money to businesses that Gates owns. Gates avoids taxes and gets even richer. Let's start with the name calling. Real intelligent. Josh Cox. It took you a while to say that. What's your opinion on 9/11? What's my opinion on 9/11? Oh my God. All right. You want my opinion on 9/11? Here it is. There's this dude. His name's Osama bin Laden, okay? He was funded by the United States federal government for years. He worked for the fucking CIA, all right? After the CIA had their way with Osama bin Laden, they cut off funding to him. Not only did they cut off funding to him, but they funded people that he was at odds with. So they basically went into a proxy war against Osama bin Laden. So Osama bin Laden decided to recruit some folks from Saudi Arabia, 21 men. He sent them to the United States. He got them to take airplane courses. This is all documented. These guys went through airline school, little schools so they could learn how to fly a plane. Just the basics, They took the classes. They got on planes with razor blades that were all, headed in certain directions. This was all planned out and plotted out and whatever. They flew the planes at the goddamn World Trade Center, at the Pentagon, at the fucking... These guys knew exactly what they were fucking doing. Osama bin Laden was a fucking tactical genius for doing what he did. He attacked the most challenging opponent is the United States of America. And to do it with 21 men with just several airplanes, to do the damage he did, to strike fear into the hearts of the people that he did, myself included, I was petrified by that fucking attack. He achieved a massive blow. And people all around the world that hated the United States, they used that as something to boost them up, to prop themselves up. It made them aware that someone with very little funding left, and he didn't have a lot of funding when he did this. He had some Saudi Arabia people giving him money, but he didn't have the United States federal government backing him anymore. He was still able to get this going, get the people over to the United States, get them to take the classes, and smash into those fucking planes. And it was all captured on video for everything that you see it all happen. That's all it is. Building 7, it was really interesting, wasn't it? Yeah, it's what happens when you have massive flames, you have massive fuel inside a building, and that shit fell over, man. What can you say? You want to say it was a controlled demolition from the video you saw, that there were people there that were planning it? Let me tell you something. If that was, then they worked together with Osama bin Laden. And then if there were people that demolished buildings while that was happening, they worked with Osama bin Laden. It was all timed. If that's what your narrative is, if that's what you believe, me, dude, he didn't have the money for that. Osama bin Laden didn't have enough money to fund people going in there and putting up thermite demolition fucking crews and subverse fucking, guys in white vans and blue suits just walking around putting fucking whatever the fuck and to get ready with the fucking plunger right when the planes hit and da-da-da-da-da-da. No, man, I don't buy into that narrative. I buy into the narrative that Osama bin Laden pulled off this crazy attack on the United States of America. He did it with 21 people. And he caused so much damage and so much terror in this country. He was successful in what he did. He celebrated. He watched it on TV, and he celebrated it. I mean, he knew about it. There were only 2 minor fires in World Trade Center 7. Hey, Vermont Bread, I submit to you that the fires at World Trade Center 7 were enough to bring that building down. I submit that to you. You know why? You know why, Vermont? Because it literally happened. It literally happened. You know, do you think that things were not being kept on other servers? Do you think that World Trade Center 7 had to be blown up because it had information in it that no one else had access to? That information only resided right there in Building 7? That was it? Is that your narrative? Because trust me, I've heard it all. I've heard all of it. I don't have a fucking theory, dude. Look, I'm going to start blocking you motherfuckers, all right? This is not a theory. It's what fucking happened. I submit it's on video. You can watch it happen. The planes crash into the towers. The towers are dropping molten fucking, steel is coming off of them. That building catches on fire. It probably goes into like molten steel too. The same thing fucking happened to that building that happened to those buildings that were right above it. I would think. I mean, I wasn't there to see how far away that building was in relation. I'm having a feeling it was pretty close. You know? That something that happened, whatever catastrophic happened at those 2 buildings, it affected Building 7. That's all I'm saying. I mean, because it's on video. You guys can go back and watch it. I watched it happen live, man. CNN was covering that shit live. Why no footage or wreckage for Pentagon? Kush Cash, you're one of those conspiracy morons. I'm just going to block you. I'm not going to answer your stupid fucking questions. All of this stuff has been answered. And I'm not going to walk through all this. I'm not going to throw my voice out over your bullshit. God damn. If there's any other you 911 fucking truthers, let me know so I can block you from my live stream too. I fucking hate you people. You guys are dumb cunts. Your parents are dumb cunts. Your children are dumb cunts. Don't ever come back to my show. I fucking hate you all. Okay? If you really believe in that bullshit, you're all dumb cunts. No, Josh, it's not that you can disagree with me, but you can't deny fucking facts, Josh. You can't fucking deny fucking facts on my live stream. And I'm telling you that what you guys are suggesting is so fucking stupid. You guys are like Q bitches. You guys having fun? You playing? You having fun, buddy? Look at these 2. Look at these 2. Buddies. You're such a good doggy. Yes, you are. They're like, why are you yelling and screaming? Another fucking cunt. It's not a disagreement. Yeah, I mean, if you want to say that there were people inside the United States that were working in conjunction with Osama bin Laden, yeah, there were. There were 21 of them. They were from Saudi Arabia. They got into fucking jet planes and they crashed them into the fucking World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and they were trying to, I believe, hit the Capitol, but that plane luckily got stopped. I mean, it's just, Ann Knudsen, for you, I usually don't do this when people do that, but for you, I will, honey. Hitler just came to your door with a new tinfoil hat. What did he say? Did he have a message? Nick Brown, you're next. Cheers. Or did I already smoke for you, Nick? I think I did. Who's after Nick? Hippie chick, cheers. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Remember, you guys, I don't block you for disagreeing with me. I block you for being a fucking idiot and believing some fucking narrative that you heard on the internet. Believing Jesse Ventura. You know, he says that the World Trade Center was a controlled demolition. And he knows because he's a demolitions expert. So go watch Jesse Ventura and stop watching me. Okay? I'll keep it real with my audience. Go get your dick sucked by Jesse Ventura. Cheers. He's not peeing in my house, is he? You're not peeing in here, are you? Did he pee in here? Don't kill that dog. Good. Good boy. I was like, that dog come in my house and pee, I will fucking destroy it. I will destroy your life. Alright, you want to go home? You ready to go home? Anyhow, you come in here and disagree with me on things that are you know up for disagreement, and that's fine. I don't mind. There's I could say that women have a right to have an abortion, and you could say no. I'm not going to block you for that, for your opinion on that. But when you subscribe to a fucking Q style narrative, a cultish, stupid theory. And for only what? So that you can argue with people about it on the internet? Get the fuck out of here. You're counterproductive and you're a fucking dumb cunt. Like I said, your parents are cunts. Your children are cunts. You're definitely a fucking cunt. I feel sorry for your children, and your parents are the reason why you are the way you are. The reason why you are a fucking moron. And, when something is as blatant as a building being demolished, and you can see it with your own eyes, you might want to ask yourself, it looked like a controlled demolition. Well, do you think that if it was a controlled demolition, wouldn't it make more sense that they would fucking make it look crooked and shit? So it didn't look like a controlled demolition? Wouldn't that make more sense? I mean, if you were the guy that was putting the explosives in Building 7, and you were the team that went through there and installed all the explosives, and by the way, I don't know if you guys know how extensive it is to line a building with explosives, but it's not like you're gonna fucking install a goddamn a speaker system. It's pretty fucking extensive. You got to run all kinds of shit to make this happen. You got to put it all in the right places. And, to do that undetected, for you guys to believe a fucking stupid narrative, it blows my mind. What you have to go, the mental gymnastics that you have to go through to think, yes, it looked like a controlled demolition, so it must have been because it looked like one. Dude, if I put them explosives in there and I didn't want anyone to fucking know that it was a controlled demolition, I would make it look all fucked up. I'd fuck they usually do it like this. It's like pop, 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 and that's probably how Building 7 fell. I would have been like, bam, 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 and a bam, and then on one side, would have fucking pancaked over on the other side. I would have made that look totally natural. Right? Doesn't that just make sense? You're talking about a fucking building. Do you know what my favorite argument is? How many times have you seen a fucking building that's been next to the fucking World Trade Center catch on fire after the World Trade Center got hit by, oh, that's right, it's never happened before. You've got literally nothing to compare it to. Oh, the fucking scientists out there. Josh, you know, let me explain to you about the Bill Gates thing, okay? That's a fair assessment what you just said. So I'm going to address it fairly, okay? Bill Gates was trying to come up with a vaccine to stop cancer in girls in Africa. He was put out this fucking vaccine, and they mass sent it out. They sent it out to 30,000 girls or whatever the amount was. And over the period of a year or several years after the vaccine was administered, out of all of those girls, out of 30,000, 7 of them died. None of which are directly attributed to the vaccine itself. None of which. I understand what happened with Bill Gates and that vaccination thing. But when you heard about that, you should have been like, Bill Gates doesn't have to be trying to fix cancer or solve a malaria or whatever the fuck in Africa. And that's got to make you go, he's actually trying to do something. Whether he's profiting off of it or not, he is vaccinating 30,000 girls. You don't hear about the 30,000, the 29,870 girls that completely had no side effects and have completely benefited from those vaccinations. You never hear about any of those. You just hear that there were 7 that died. 7! And none attributable to I fucking researched it, bro. Did you? Did you go check the fucking story out, man? About Bill Gates? Mr. fucking evil Bill Gates? Now, you want to say he's greedy? Yeah, he's greedy. And what he did with fucking COVID? Totally wrong. I fucking call him out for that completely. He's a fucking piece of shit now. But for that, for what's attributable to him, and for him trying to get a bunch of girls vaccinated, man, I don't hold that against him. I think that's pretty cool, actually. 7 girls died. A lot more of those girls would have died had they not gotten that vaccine, I guarantee you. I guarantee you. So, how'd I do? They just took down Trump Plaza in Jersey, and it was in between another building tight, and they dropped it with no damage to any other buildings without harming any other buildings. Yeah, man, these guys know what the fuck they're... I'm telling you, like I said, or if it was a controlled demolition, they could have made it look like not a controlled demolition. If someone was doing that, and they would have done that. They would have been like, hey, man, try to fucking cover our tracks. Ann Knudsen says, you fine. I did good. I'm waiting for for Josh Cox's response. Yeah, but let's put 2 planes in the top first, bro. I mean, to make it look like Osama bin Laden did it. Okay. He's a patsy. Osama bin Laden, the guy that was celebrating watching it happen on television, that guy's a patsy? The guy that took full responsibility for it. That guy's a patsy? The guy that took responsibility for it? He's a patsy? I don't know. I mean, I think we could have found something to go to war over easier than that. Right? Right? I don't think we had to kill 3,000 Americans to go to war with another country. You know, staging something, it's very simple. You guys are talking about killing 3,000 Americans and this massive orchestrated ordeal where, you know, a country, we could go to war over, you know, a single person getting murdered. You know, an American soldier being killed somewhere. You know, somebody kidnaps an American soldier, they make a video of them killing that person. That'd start a fucking war. You don't have to kill 3,000 people to do some shit like that. Yeah, I know about that story. I just don't really like him. I think you can be an evil person and still do good. And I'll leave it at that. He's got his money tied up into a lot of shady stuff. I just don't find him as inherently evil, bro. We're literally all talking to each other on his software right now. He's lets us all communicate with each other on Microsoft software. I'm using Windows 10 right now, bro. You know, there is some kind of technology right now that you are using to view this show. So, how evil is that? He invented goddamn Microsoft, bro. The most used operating system in the world. He's done a lot, man. He tried to build toilets for people. Who does that? You know about the toilets, Josh? Who does that? Why would he do that? Because he's evil? We didn't attack the Saudis, and we instead became mercenaries for the Saudis. Fought off all their neighboring enemies, right? And, Ronnie, we sell them millions, billions of dollars in fucking warfare. In war machines. So if we kill someone in another country, they can go to war with us. My neighbors won't take their Trump 2020 flags down. They swear up and down it's not over. What state are you in, Rob? What state and city? That's crazy, man. How dare that motherfucker develop thing I like? I mean, how evil is Bill Gates? I mean, so he's greedy. I say that greedy and evil are two totally different things. You know, I think that Elon Musk is greedy, but I don't think he's evil. You know, I think that God, there's a lot of, you know, look at someone like any famous personality, just name them. You know, Dave Chappelle or anybody. You know, they might do things to make more and more money. They might make moves. They might make money moves. But you know what? They're not evil for that. They're greedy. And I think that that calling someone evil means that they wish to do harm to other people in what they do. And with Bill Gates, I see the exact opposite. But I see him making himself money while he does it. Like you said, he's making money while he does it. He's making money while he's making vaccinations for other people, but he's not allowing other people to make money off of his vaccinations for COVID. Only his companies can deal with it. It was fucking totally greedy. When the more companies that were involved, the more vaccines we would be able to distribute. What a fucking cunt. Only someone with it takes all 7 deadly sins to be truly evil? That's not true. You don't have to be gluttonous to be truly evil. Do you think that? Do you think that? Do you think that? Charles Manson was gluttonous? He looked like a fucking skeleton. Do you think Adolf Hitler was gluttonous? He was skinny, man. You don't have to be all 7 deadly sins. That's the stupidest thing anybody's ever said. Makes me want to get custom Biden Harris 2020 just to piss them off. Yeah, you know about the toilets and the fake meat he's trying to feed us? Right. Because, Josh, don't you understand that if we were to stop eating meat, it would save the planet? That's the one thing that would save the planet. Do you realize that, Josh? Or are you that fucking ignorant and stupid? Come on, man. You ever watch Graham Elwood? Maybe you shouldn't watch me. Maybe you should watch Graham Elwood. You know? He'll talk about that. He's a vegan, bro. He's a vegan for a reason. He knows that if we were to stop eating meat, it would save the planet. And so does Bill Gates. And you come down on him for that, Josh Cox. You said, and the fake meat he's trying to feed us. You make him sound like, you know, like he's evil in the way you said that. You see that, bro? You understand how off that was, what you just said about Bill Gates? It's literally the only way we can save this planet is by switching to vegan. I'll wait for you to respond. You said yes, very greedy. Says 100%. Thanks. Thanks, Nick. It's not that we're running out of chicken. It's about when we do. That's why you guys all need to have your own chickens. I feel like a dumb cunt now. Where's one of those? Don't feel that bad. I just want the planet to go back to be a forest everywhere. We are destroying this beautiful earth. Rob. Sorry for yelling. That's okay, Billy. Look, Bill Gates and Graham Elwood know. That's the secret. Guy McPherson might beg to defer with them. That would be an interesting conversation to hear. But, you know, according to Thunderfoot, we can't slow down the amount of CO2 that we've already produced. It's going to keep expanding because we've already produced it, basically. I don't really understand that. But he says it in one of his videos. You can't plant enough trees. You cannot plant enough trees to reverse. Here, let's find it. He says how many trees you'd have to plant every day in order to reverse the amount of CO2 that we're putting out. So I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm going to go to the search. I'm going to type Thunderfoot F00T Thunderfoot and say 20 million Team Trees versus reality. guy. This is one of them. I don't know exactly how many videos he did on this, but he discusses it in different ways, you know?
And seriously, just think about that for a second. The land and water rights to grow 10 billion trees, give or take 30 trees per American per year. That's not a one-off. You have to do that every single year.
Okay. That's it's pretty much
And the only reason I bring it up is to put into perspective what a one-off planting of 20 million trees is worth.
That is a huge opportunity, and internet content creators from all over, every genre of content, we're all working together to do this, but we need you.
But really, none of that is your problem. Your problem is that there are still people going around saying that there is no such thing as climate change. But if you'll excuse me for being blunt and addressing the elephant in the room, what the hell is the point of all the stuff like this when the President of the United States is a global warming denier?
All of this with the global warming and a lot of it's a hoax. It's a hoax. I mean, it's a money-making industry, okay?
What an impact that would make.
I'm not denying climate change, but it could very well go back. You know, we're talking about
Well,
over
that's
millions of
denying it.
years.
Scientists will say it's worse than ever.
You'd have to show me the scientists because they have a very big political agenda, Leslie.
I can't bring them in.
Scientists also have a political agenda.
Well, not exactly. Climate scientists think that the planet is getting warmer because they've measured it. And one of his first actions as president was to appoint a head of the Environmental Protection Agency who was also a climate change denier.
Human activity on the climate is something very challenging to do, and there's tremendous disagreement about the degree of impact. So no, I would not agree that it's a primary contributor to the global warming that we see.
And then went on to withdraw from the Paris Climate Accords.
My solemn duty to protect America and its citizens. The United States will withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord.
I am proud to tell you all that the United States is back in the Paris Accord, and the reason why that's so important is whether or not anybody does anything, it just says that, hey, at least we're aware of it, we're looking at it, and we're not ignoring it. And that says a lot more than what this douchebag said.
This was the head of the EPA in the Trump administration, before he got removed for corruption, saying this.
Why are the hottest temperatures in the last decade essentially the hottest temperatures that we've seen on record?
We've actually been in a hiatus since the late 1990s.
But sir,
Yeah, he uses the utterly debunked, there's been a climate change hiatus since 1998 argument. I mean, this is the part that he's actually talking about. Look, I was born about the last time man walked on the moon, in the early 70s. That means I've been around for somewhat more than 45 years. And over all of that time, there have been only 7 years in my lifetime which has not been one of the hottest top 10 years on record. So this is data from NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies. They do the surface average temperature analysis, and they've got data going back the best part of 100 years.
Both administrations,
So
all of
if
them,
we
none of them give a
look
shit.
at that data, we see that it goes back to about 1880.
But at least we went back into the Paris Climate Accord.
Maybe 150 years.
And that's better than not.
They have the temperature plotted out from the historical average. So you can see that from, well, you know, the last century has been a steady incline.
And let me just reiterate, AK Master, it was the previous administration who took us out of that accord, and it was the current administration who put us back into it. Okay there, bro? I'm talking about
all the
that.
years in recorded history, the last 100, or where we have accurate data, how hot that year was rated in all of the years where there was accurate data. So I was born 1972, which was the 16th hottest year on record. Then there were a few years in this sort of region here where it wasn't actually one of the hottest top 20 on record. Then there was a solid decade where it was basically every single year was one of the hottest top 10 on record. And 1985 was the last time that someone was born where it wasn't one of the hottest top 10 years on record. And every single year since then, anyone born after 1985 hasn't been alive in a year where it hasn't been one of the hottest top 10 years on record. And you still get people like this EPA guy saying that, but global warming has been on hiatus for 20 years or something. And it's like, what? Or you get people saying that it's a hoax.
What an impact that would make.
I'm not denying climate change, but it could very well go back. We're talking about over millions of years.
If you think that's bad, if you were born in 1987, say like Stephen Crowder here, every single year he's been alive has been one of the hottest top 10 years on record.
Oh yeah, by the way, they call that the pause. Yeah, by the way, there was a complete and total dead stop to all global warming for over 15 years, and rather than readjust their models, current climate scientists employed by your tax dollars simply chalk it up to being the pause.
Hell, he made a video about the top myths of global warming debunked, not only in the hottest year on record, but in the hottest August, in the hottest year on record. But praise be for small mercies. It looks like Stephen Crowder actually set that video to private now, even though his scornful mocking tones of real science are still right up there on Twitter.
Let me explain a little more. To be a science denier at all to the current climate change coalition, you merely need to be skeptical of any one of these four things. Number one, that the Earth is warming.
But you know what's going to happen? He will simply move the goalposts to, okay, maybe there is some global warming, but mankind's really not responsible for it. Or, it's just not that bad. The normal stages of global warming denialism. Which is scales of delusion that make the Team Trees think, we're going to make an awesome difference by planting a few million trees, seem sane and balanced. The principal problem is that we are currently in a hole of literally astronomical proportions. As you might expect, it basically took the entire population of the planet burning fossil fuels for almost a century to make it. So how does the size of global warming compare to the entire power of mankind? The entire of global warming is a mere 1 part in 1,000 extra absorbed energy from the sun. Which doesn't sound so bad, right? 1 part in 1,000, you could barely detect it. That is until you realise the soul-crushing dimensions of what merely 1 part in 1,000 extra energy of the sun represents.
I'm sure the United States is.
Of the power that mankind
I'm sure you're right about that.
Is about 1/10 of that 1 part in 1,000 extra energy that we're getting from the sun. Global warming makes mankind's entire power production seem like a quaint gesture. Hell, it corresponds to merely 1 part in 10,000 of the energy that we receive from the sun. Now, the reason, of course, that we don't radiate as much energy into space as we used to is because we've increased the carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere from about 300 parts per million to 400 parts per million. And bear in mind that it took the best part of 100 years of the entire of mankind to get there. And we got a lot of bang for the buck out of burning that gas. But the hangover from this party is going to be long. Generations long. In the meanwhile, what's climate change doing to existing forests? Well, there's a beetle called the pine beetle that, because of climate change, has been wiping out forests in the Rocky Mountains. I know because I've seen the devastation firsthand. Not in Colorado though, where it's wiped out some 800 million trees, but in Wyoming.
That's squared up. Here I am in the Wind Rivers. And you just have to look around. Somewhere between half and 70% of the trees here are dead. Pine beetle. As this place gets warmer winters than it used to. And kill off the beetles. Oh, the trees are dead already. Altitude related. So as you go uphill, what you find is there comes a point where it gets sufficiently cold in winter to kill the beetles, and you go from dead trees to living ones, and it really, from one side of the road to the other, it changes like that.
Now bear in mind, you can't simply plant more trees here, because if you plant more pine trees, the pine beetle will simply kill those too. Maybe you can plant different types of trees, but now you're looking at changing the entire ecosystem, basically the entire Rocky Mountains. And even at that, less than half of Americans think that they've experienced the effects of global warming. You know, it took almost a century of the concerted effort of basically the entire planet living off cheap energy to put the carbon dioxide into the atmosphere in the first place. It's going to take a comparable amount of effort to get it out again. In the short term, some of that will dissolve in the oceans, acidifying them, but that's a story for another day. Planting trees only sequesters the carbon till the trees die in 100 or so years. At that point, the trees rot and they release the carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere. That means that you're only down to geological processes to get the carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. This is just a consequence of taking megatons of oil that have been stored underground for millions of years and turning it into carbon dioxide and releasing it into the atmosphere. There's nowhere for it to go. Like I say, we had a blast for the last century, and there is one hell of a hangover.
Yeah, man, does anybody ever think about
if
this?
Not for us, then sure as hell for the next generation.
We're pulling all this oil out of the ground, all this oil, and we're talking about, yeah, we're running low on oil because we're mining too much of it, and oil reserves running low. All that oil was underground. What does oil do? It lubricates and it cools. Now that we've pulled all the fucking oil out of the earth, does that mean that it's no longer lubricating and cooling down there and now we're going to get it from both sides? I don't know. But does oil underground help the planet stay cool? Does it? You would think, because that's how it works in an engine, right? You put oil in an engine, it lubricates it and it cools it down. So maybe during an earthquake, having all that oil down there would help, slide around or whatever, so it's not as much shock and the earthquakes aren't as... I don't know. I'm just guessing here, guys. I don't know. I'm just doing this right now. I have no science behind this at all. But I want to find out. I'll ask Dr. Guy McPherson. I wonder if he would know that. I think he might know the answer to that. I want to ask him a question. I asked him on... I emailed him. Right. for it to load. Let's see what. For my email to open. God, man, this email client sucks my dick. Evil ass fucking Bill Gates bullshit fucking operating system. Finally. Okay, here we go. Didn't I email him? I guess not. I don't see an email to him here. Oh, wait. Let's try this. All right, cool. I'd send him a nice letter. So we still talking about the idiots at the fringes of society? No. We are not. We are calling it a day. You guys, I will see you tonight for tonight's show. Take care. Check out my friend Ron Placone, Graham Elwood, Jimmy Dore. Watch his show. Send this video to what's his name? Simon Dan. Simon Dan. Send it on over to him. Send this video to Simon Dan on YouTube, guys. See if you can get it through to him. He's probably on Twitter. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe I'll look him up on Twitter. All right, you guys, take care. Bye, y'all. See you next show.